the Broadbent Institute just this morning.
Can you break down some of the numbers from that institute?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty shocking because I've been sort of holding this one back, but the top 10% now in Canada own about half the wealth in the entire country. So it's that dramatic at this point. And to put that into perspective, this is the dramatic breakdown of what we're looking at here. So if you go to the right of your chart, that red line there indicates the top 10 percentile of the country, meaning they own now, that's close to 69%. That's when you include pensions in there. And the accumulation of assets at the level is faster than anywhere else. The poorest half of Canadians, when you go to the left of the screen, that means over 17 million Canadians. They only own less than 6% of all that wealth, and these are shocking numbers that we kind of knew. And it's the old saying of the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. But the highest concentration, the biggest gap, is in British Columbia, where the top 10% own 56% of everything. The lowest is in Atlantic Canada. You could say that's the most democratic. The top 10% only own about 32% of everything.
And when I looked at that chart, I saw, you know, the poorest of the poor and the wealthiest of the wealthy. What about the middle class? Does the study say anything about that?
It doesn't, because there was a study out recently that showed that Canada's middle class actually surpassed the U.S. as being sort of the wealthiest as far as those sort of barriers go, as far as the middle class goes. But the study here says that that's not necessarily true, that anybody out there in the middle class thinks that this doesn't affect me. It does. So here's Rick Smith. He's the executive director of the Broadbent Institute, defending the study and also the idea that this doesn't affect middle class Canadians. Take a look what he has to say.
One of the things you'll sometimes hear is, okay, fine, maybe we have some poor people, maybe we have some rich people, but, you know, those of us in the middle are doing just fine. I mean, this, you know, our study, our number crunching shows that that's just nonsense. The vast majority of Canadians own very little.
So he is saying that this is a problem that's not going away, basically.